guys, MissCrazyGamer here, and welcome to a little indie game I found on edge.io called Taarradhin, or something like that. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce it. It's supposed to be a little game about finding love, I think, with, some very cute characters and stuff like that. I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, let's just begin and see what we have to do. So, it was a time before the age of exploration. The times were tranquil and the people kind. From the rich west coast country of Neqtia to the faraway Akar in the west past the desert. All lived basking in the warmth of the goddess Skekn's benevolence. There was no reason to believe that this peaceful existence would ever change. Of course, none can predict what will go on in the hearts of men. All too soon, the times changed, and hierarchies were drawn up like battle lines, mercilessly dividing people who had once lived in harmony. Did Skeknd disapprove of this, or had she already turned her back on her children long ago? As archivists and priests alike debated this point, a terrible drought ravaged the continent. Lakes and rivers ran dry, livestock dropped dead in dusty fields. In desperation, some turned to the sea and others to the stars. Neither provided much solace for an empty stomach. The population dwindled, and people began to wonder if the rain would ever fall again. 7 years have gone by since then. Handmaiden, good morning. Okay, give her a voice. Good morning, Lady Neqtia. Good morning to you. Neqtia rises from her soft bed, stretching her arms. The blue skies outside Neqtia's window look inviting. Maybe I'll take a walk around the gardens today. It's too nice outside to stay indoors. Have you heard the news, my lady? Great voice acting. Shut up. News? Neqtia's mind is filled only with gaiety, and she lives for diversions and gossip. They fill the hours that she spends mostly alone, an only child in a large household. It seems that the tribute from Jetty, will be brought to the city tomorrow. Oh, really? Her interest in the topic rapidly dwindles. Neqtia knows from experience that she will not be allowed to attend the parade, and the precious metals and livestock that make up the tribute are of no interest to her. I don't know how to read. Leave me alone. I've heard that this year Jetty has sent 2 beautiful slaves along the procession. Along with the procession. I guess. Neqtia perks up at that. Beautiful slaves? They were chosen among all of the citizens for their youth and beauty. The best Jetty has to offer, apparently. Beautiful voice acting, again. How interesting. I wonder what they're like. I'm sure they're very happy to be here. Jetty is mostly desert now, isn't it? If I were them, I would do anything I could get out of there. I'm sure you're right, my lady. After her handmaiden helps her dress, Neqtia leaves her room. It's pretty rare for Jade to offer people as part of their tribute. I can't even recall when the last time was. How nice for them. They got to come to Neqtia, the beautiful country in the region, the best country in the region by far. Neqtia has never left the city, but she passes each day in such ease and comfort that she can hardly imagine a better life to be had anywhere else. Tributes are sent to Neqtia each year by surrounding countries in exchange for their aid and protection. It seems that the surrounding countries are not faring nearly as well as Neqtia's beloved home country. It must be difficult for them to live without much water. I can't imagine it very well myself. As Neqtia strolls around the garden, contemplating these things, she's interrupted by one of her handmaidens. My lady, I bring most interesting news for you. Leave me alone, I'm trying. Is that so? What has occurred? The slaves that are part of the tribute are being brought to this estate. Here? But we already have many servants in our household. What use have we for slaves? The slaves from Jetty are not slaves in the usual sense. They're meant to show Neqtia's dominance. Where else to display such beautiful trophies than here? Neqtia's family is one of the oldest noble families of Neqtia, and has only gained wealth and influence through the generations. The more Neqtia thinks about it, the more that she feels that it's not only right that the slaves would be brought here. Your father has instructed me to tell you that you shall get to meet both of them tomorrow. Neqtia's heart swells with anticipation. I very much look forward to their arrival. She dismisses her handmaiden, who goes off to help the other servants prepare for the tribute's coming. 2 beautiful slaves, It seems things will be quite interesting here starting tomorrow. I've never met anyone from a different country before. I do wonder what sort of people they will be. Neqtia watches the sunlight streaming through the tree branches. The garden is quiet now, but soon she will no longer be alone. No longer. I don't know how to read, okay? We've already established that. The next morning, Neqtia's handmaiden comes quite early to wake her up. The slaves have all arrived, my lady. I need to stop this voice, I'm so sorry. I thought that you might wish to receive them. Yes, of course. After bounding from her bed, Neqtia impatiently allows her handmaiden to dress her. Once ready, Neqtia dashes towards the atrium, or atrium? I don't know. The sight of the slaves strikes Neqtia as soon as she enters this atrium. Goodness, they're both quite beautiful. It seems that the promise of these two being the most attractive among the young people of Jedi was not only talk. You have arrived, my lady. Slaves, this is the Lady Neqtia. She is the young daughter of this estate. Please show her the utmost respect. Good day. My father and mother will be out on business until later this evening, so the estate is my dominant domain in the meantime. I am Neqtia, and you are...
My name is Jurek, Lady Neqtia.
I'm trying, okay? Or Jyrek, I don't know. And I'm I need to give her a different voice. And I'm Aradra. It's an honor to be in your presence, my lady. What interesting names you have. Did the two of you know each other before coming here?
The slaves exchange glances. We were informed of being chosen a few weeks ago, so we have spoken some since then, but we're from different villages.
We only met after being chosen to be a part of the tribute.
Lady Neqtia, after your father spoke to the other members of the council, it was decided that the slaves would stay here.
Are they going to be working in our household?
Yes, but they will be only doing light work so as not to ruin their looks. These slaves are really more for show, a way to show Nishtif's dominance. It would not do for them to spoil their main assets. I'll be working in the gardens, my lady.
Wow, I can't imagine someone as handsome as him getting covered with dirt in the gardens. I've been told to act as one of your handmaidens. I'm very much looking forward to it. As beautiful as she is, I'm sure she'll be able to give me lots of beauty and fashion advice.
Are they to your liking, my lady?
Very much so. You're both so beautiful and strong-looking. I'm happy that you'll be living here. Tonight we shall have a banquet. I'd very much like to get to know you both better.
Is that wise, my lady?
I'm humbled by your generosity, Lady Neqtia, but we are only slaves.
You shouldn't have a party just for our sakes. We'll speak to you whenever you wish, with or without a banquet.
Nonsense! Trophies are meant to be shown off, aren't they? Who would complain about the chance to see the exotic tribute sent from Jedi? Or Jedi? Jedi? Now I just noticed that I'm saying Jedi. Anyway,
you have a point, my lady.
It would certainly be attention-grabbing to put them on display. Surely a banquet will positively influence both your family and our country. Make the preparations immediately.
Yes, my lady. The attendant shuffles away.
You two, go rest in the meantime. I'd hate for you to be too tired for the banquet. The slaves simply cannot ignore a command. After bowing to Neqtia solemnly, they leave her side.
Ooh, I don't know which one I like. I like both of them.
By the time Neqtia's parents return from their business in town, the entire estate is bustling with activity. Organizing a banquet, I'm not sure, in a day might be difficult for some, but it's an easy enough feat for someone from a family with as much power and resources as Neqtia's. Her father quickly sees the wisdom in a banquet to show off the slaves from Jedi, and so he helps speed the process along. When night falls, the estate is filled with the most influential, well-known families in all of Nishtif, and all of them want to see the two beautiful slaves.
I can't help but glow with pride whenever Jirik or Aradra are complimented. They're mine now, after all.
This sounds weird, doesn't it?
The party eventually reaches a lull. Neqtia has eaten quite enough and starts feeling a little restless. I should find someone to talk to.
Oh no! Which one do I choose? To be honest, I like the lady a bit more than the guy. Like when it comes to like how they look. So sorry.
I wonder if Aradra is around. I think I saw her a few minutes ago. I'm sure she has many an interesting tale to tell.
Tale to tell. English.
Out of the corner of her eye, Neqtia sees Aradra on the far side of the room speaking quite animatedly to a group of people. Neqtia walks over to the group quietly, not wanting to intrude on the conversation. And I honestly felt that Lady Neqtia was the most beautiful woman I've ever laid eyes upon.
Hey girl!
Oh, it would seem that they were talking about me. How flattering! Ah, my lady, here you are. I so wanted to speak to you. Haha, you have so many others who want your attention that I was a little afraid to intrude. I would never think of you as an intruder, my lady. Aradra lightly touches Neqtia's arm. It's a casual gesture on Aradra's part, no doubt, but Neqtia is not used to being touched. Okay, she's not used to being... Sorry. Her eyes widen a little. Oh, I'm so sorry. Was that inappropriate of me? I'm afraid that I'm not too familiar with initiative customs still. Please punish me. Please punish me however you see fit. No, it's not an offense. I was just a little surprised, that's all. Don't worry. I just want so much to become closer to you and learn more about you, Lady Neqtia. I got a little bit carried away, I'm afraid. Aradra's smile is kind and welcoming. Despite not knowing her for very long, Neqtia feels safe in her presence. It's as if she's being enveloped in warmth. It's all right. I'd like to learn more about you as well. I'm not so unaccustomed to touch. I'm very glad to hear that, my lady. As I thought, you're a most gracious young woman.
Lady Neqtia, one of your father's guests wishes to speak with you. I need to stop. I'm so sorry. Back to the thing.
Ah, I shall be there shortly. Must you go so soon, my lady? I mustn't keep them waiting. I'm sure that they're an important person. Besides, there are many other people wanting to see you tonight. Don't disappoint them.
Of course, Lady Neqtia. Aradra's smiling is dazzling. Once she turns away to speak to other partygoers, Neqtia falls into the crowd to find her father and his guest. Okay, well, time has passed. Ah, it's morning! One of Neqtia's handmaidens usually wakes her up, but she's simply too eager to start her day. She stretches her arms over her head and rises from the bed. It's moments later that one of the servants walk in. Oh, my Lady Neqtia, out of bed already?
There you are. Help me dress. Yesterday was so exciting that I simply couldn't stay asleep. Are Aradra and Jirik or Gyrik awake yet?
I believe so, my lady.
The handmaiden helps Neqtia into her clothes. Wonderful. I should like to spend time with one of them.
I'm sorry, my lady, but I regret to inform you that you have some other business to attend to first.
Business? I wasn't told of this before.
This evening, your father has arranged for a dinner tonight with your extended family.
But that won't be until later tonight. But that won't be until later tonight, correct?
Some of your cousins have already arrived and your mother would like for you to entertain them for the day. She says that it will be practice for you when you run your own household in the future.
I see. I suppose it cannot be helped then.
However, the slaves will be also attending the dinner tonight. Who would you like to see, Lady Neqtia? It can be arranged for you to be seated near one of them. I mean, since we're going this way, I might as well.
Who should I sit next to? It was so nice to talk to Aradra last night. She's so beautiful and agreeable.
I mean, I'm going that route, okay? If you disagree with me, I'm sorry, but I'm going for it, so hey.
I'd like to sit next to Aradra.
It shall be done, my lady.
I simply have to make the best of this. I haven't seen many of my cousins in such a long time. At least it shall be a diverting evening. After Neqtia's dressing is complete, the handmaiden shuffles out of the room, and Neqtia prepares to meet her cousins. fly as Batman in this game.
Dinner will be starting shortly, but I still haven't decided on what I would like to wear. Maid!
Oh my god. One of Neqtia's handmaidens quickly arrives on the scene. Yes, my lady.
Bring a rider here. Tell her that I'd like her to help.
It shall be done. A few minutes later, a rider bursts in with a brilliant smile on her face. Lady Neqtia, I'm so honored to have been called upon by you. How can I be of service?
Good evening. As you know, we are to dine with my family tonight. I'm having trouble deciding on what I would like to wear. You're so beautiful. I'm sure you know all about the fashion these days.
You're giving me too much credit, my lady.
There's no need to be modest. Please, I'd like your help.
Though I'm sure that you would look dazzling no matter what you wore, I shall do my best to try and help you make a choice. Neqtia tries on many outfits, but none of them catch her eye.
I should ask Mother if I can go into the city sometime soon and meet with a tailor. I wonder how I ever wore any of these. They all look so drab now.
How about this one, my lady? The color would look quite beautiful in you, I believe. Neqtia stares at the dress that a rider is holding up.
Do you not like that dress? I do like the color, but somehow it looks so common. I feel as if my cousins would laugh at me if I wore something like that.
Araidra blinks confusedly.
Common? But the material! This is pure silk, is it not? And to be able to dye the material such a deep purple, surely the dyes alone for this dress cost a fortune. Araidra, you might not understand this since you come from a more common background, but as a noble woman, I have to dress in a more eye-catching way. Nearly everything I own is made of expensive material. That is simply a matter of course. That's true. Please forgive my impatience. As you say, I'm not as refined as you, so I'm ignorant of such matters. It's all right. I know that you are only trying to help. How about this dress?
Neqtia reaches for an indigo dress in the Akah fashion.
This pattern. Is this not the pattern worn by the priestess of the high temple in Akah? Is it all right for you to wear this?
Neqtia waves her hand impatiently.
It's only a dress. The pattern is very intricate. So I hear it's quite trendy these days. Besides, I do so admire the Akah priestesses. They're known to be very pure of heart.
You know better than I, Lady Neqtia. I do believe this shade of indigo would make you look breathtaking.
I'm so glad that you agree, Araidra.
After Araidra helps Neqtia dress, the two of them go to dinner and have a splendid time together. Splendid time, huh? I'm sorry. The next afternoon, after getting dressed and eating breakfast, Neqtia decides to find Araidra.
I should think that she's not too far from my own room.
Lady Neqtia! Araidra was sitting on the ground fiddling with a cushion before she bows over as soon as she noticed Neqtia enter.
Her expression brightened considerably when she saw me. Does she really like me so much? It's quite flattering.
Well met, Araidra. How was your breakfast? It was all right, but any meal without your presence is bound to be a dull affair. I'm sensing flirtation in the air.
Was it really so bad as that? Of course, I'm supposed to be your handmaiden, but the senior maids have been keeping me away from you. I need, quote-unquote, training, they said. As if I need to learn how to take care of you.
She's best, man.
The senior house staff can be quite overbearing. Even to you, my lady? By the goddess, no. They won't have the nerve to order me around. One word to my father and they would soon be out of work.
You're so strong, Lady Neqtia. I know many a noble man or lady who lets the staff walk all over them.
I would never allow them free rein, but I treat my servants with kindness, so they respect me in turn. We have had very few problems. I am glad to hear it. I would hate for anyone to trouble you. You deserve a life as beautiful and wonderful as you are.
Aw, Neqtia giggles.
You always know exactly what to say to make me feel grand.
I speak only the truth, my lady. How was your own breakfast?
The food was delicious. I usually dine with my parents, but my father had to go to the city early this morning on political business.
If I recall correctly, your father is a consul man.
Yes, every day he has to hear citizens' complaints and sort out their problems. It's all quite troublesome.
Troublesome?
Sometimes father has to return home quite late. Really, the poor only know how to run their mouths.
If they spent more time working and less time complaining, perhaps they would not be so poor. It is not so easy to make a living in these trying times, perhaps, my lady. Nonsense! I have not been to the city often, but every time I go there are people bustling about and doing work. It really seems as if there's more work than there are people working. You're probably right. I must admit that I know little of Neqtia's economy, after all. I apologize for my ignorance. You're still newly arrived from Jedi. Of course there's still much you don't know. Neqtia thinks back to the many times she's heard her father speak on the subject. The real problem, my father says, is that the lower classes don't realize just how much the nobles do for them. It is the nobility that employs them and takes care of them. Yet they forget their place and demand more. It's all very silly. Oh, I mixed up the voices. Sorry. Indeed, it's quite lucky that the lower classes have nobility like your father to keep them in line. Goddess only knows how chaotic society would be otherwise. I'm so very glad that you agree. It must be hard for you, adjusting to life here. On the contrary, my life has become much better since meeting you, my lady. I learn new things all the time. Oh God, stupid mixing the voices. Besides, to always be in the presence of such a beautiful lady, my friends would all be envious of me. Friends? The ones you have in Jedi? How was your life there? This is the first time I've heard you speak of it. Haradra laughs, her voice high and clear with confidence. Really, it's not worth your time, my lady. Compared to the people here, Jedians are extremely dull. It was all they could do to keep up with me. I can imagine. I'm sure that there are a few in Jedi who are as beautiful and sharp as you. On top of that, you're so kind and obliging. I wish I was more like you. Are they gonna make out or what? I can't take this anymore. I'm sorry, I'm joking. The world could not handle two of me, I'm afraid. The two of them passed the time making conversation and laughing together. So, am I shipping this? Yes, I am. Sorry if you don't agree, but I'm shipping it. After 3 days together, Neqtia has gotten to spend quite a bit of time with Haradra. When I first heard that the slaves from Jeddah were going to be brought here, I was curious, but not much else. Haradra is so different from what I expected. She's not only beautiful, but so congenial and charming. She's not here. Lady Neqtia? Oh, Lady Neqtia, do you require something? I came to speak with Haradra, but it seems that she's not here. Haradra is doing an errand for your mother at present. She will return shortly. Shall I escort you back to your room in the meantime? That's all right. I shall wait here for her. As you wish, my lady. The attendant nods in his head solemnly before leaving the room. Neqtia sits down upon the pillows and waits for Haradra, her spirits high. I don't mind waiting for her. I have had many female friends and admirers, but truth be told, I have never enjoyed anyone else's company so much. Haradra always knows exactly what to say. After some time has passed, Neqtia hears the soft sound of footsteps and looks up. My lady, I'm so sorry to have kept you waiting. If I had known sooner that you were here. There is no problem at all. Please, don't trouble yourself. I don't mind waiting for you. It doesn't do for a slave like me to impose upon a lady such as yourself, Lady Neqtia. Please, just call me Neqtia. Gasp! It feels so stifling to have this kind of mistress/servant relationship. I wish to be closer to you than that. Closer? Neqtia takes a deep breath. It's not only unheard of for women to partner with other women, but it's still something that she has to word carefully. As she thinks of being careful with her words, the realization crystallizes in her heart. That's right. The truth is, I love you, right? Yay! I know that we haven't known each other for very long. Perhaps, what does that matter when it comes to romance? I know that I love you. You're the most beautiful and the nicest person that I know. I can't imagine you ever making me uncomfortable, and so I feel in love with you. She's like, what? I would like to hear your thoughts on the matter. Oh yeah, they're making out. Moments later, Haradra pulls Neqtia to her and plants a kiss upon her lips. Yay! Neqtia, Haradra, I can't believe that you feel this way about me. That such a thing could be true. It's like a dream. If this is a dream, please don't let me awaken. I love you as well, so very deeply. I want to spend the rest of my life by your side.
Of course you shall. This is like reading a fanfiction. I can't even. And not as a slave either. I will be sure to have some words with my father, so please rest assured. They continue to embrace each other tightly, and Neqtia feels very much at ease. Surely this is the happiest day of my life. Neqtia is able to speak to her father when he returns some hours later. He seems skeptical at first, but eventually respects her decision. I wish for my only daughter to be happy. If you require that person to do so, then you shall have them. He promises to do what he can. Oh. Early the next afternoon, Neqtia is awoken by her handmaiden. My lady, after you're finished getting dressed, your mother would like to speak with you. It seems that she'll be taking you into the city with her today. I see. The handmaiden helps Neqtia dress, and she walks through the estate to find her mother. When she gets to the living room, however, she hears a familiar voice cry out in anguish. The sound stops Neqtia in her tracks. Jurek and Aridra are both standing next to each other. While Jurek's face looks frozen in shock, Aridra is leaning forward slightly while looking quite desperate. What? Please, if you can't spare us both, then at least just Jurek or Jurek. Spare? What do you mean? What's going on? My lady, I've just informed the slaves that the day of sacrifice is tomorrow. Oh my god! Day of sacrifice? Oh no, this is messed up! As you know, the entire region has been experiencing a terrible drought for the past 7 years. In such trying times, it is customary to call upon the goddess Shkeknt to deliver us from danger. Oh, I remember hearing stories about this. To ask for her aid, sacrifices are given to her as tribute. That is correct. These slaves were brought from Jedi to serve that purpose. Oh no. Neqtia soon realizes the implications of those words. But Aridra will be spared. I have spoken to your father, and as you have formed an attachment to this woman, it would hardly be appropriate for us to offer her to the goddess. Only Jurek will be offered, but I believe that with such a handsome tribute, the goddess will surely not mind. Oh, thank goodness. Wait! No, that's not thank goodness. Oh my god. She breathes a little sigh of relief. Of course, it's a great honor to be a sacrifice, but I would not like a rider to be taken from me so soon. At least that was the intention, but the young woman is being difficult. I understand the situation, but I believe it's unfair to spare me alone. Please, take me instead. It's you that Lady Require wants. We shall do no such thing. Then, Lady Neqtia, surely you can do something. If it's a matter of the goddesses and the temples, I cannot interfere. It's already a miracle that they would spare you for my sake. Oh, she's pissed though. Neqtia has never seen Aridra look so angry. She realizes that Aridra is worried for Jurek. Aridra is a compassionate woman after all. That's why I love her. I'm so sorry to lose you, Jurek, since you seem very agreeable, but... She trails off, realizing that it would be somewhat rude to tell someone to just accept their death. I hadn't realized that there was going to be a sacrifice. It was decided even before the tribute arrived here in Nishtif. I see. It's alright, Aridra. Don't try to exchange plans with me. I won't be able to live with a clear conscience. Jurek. Still, being a sacrifice is such an honor. Why would they be so sad about it? It's for the good of the entire continent, after all. How freaking stupid is this girl? I can't. The priest soon leaves to oversee other business, and Neqtia does her best to console Aridra and Jurek before the fateful day of sacrifice. My god, this girl is so stupid. She thinks everything is so perfect, but nah. As the day of sacrifice dawns, Neqtia watches the ceremony with a heavy heart. Aridra is sitting next to her, but anger and disgust never leave her face, no matter how much those around them stare. She had been inconsolable the night before. Aridra is currently so different from her usual self that Neqtia can't help feeling afraid and uncertain. I hope that Aridra can eventually find peace after this. He looks like a bride. I'm so sorry. Oh, great and merciful Shken, please accept this sacrifice that we offer up to you.
please bless us with rain so that our people will no longer have to suffer and starve. Though Neqtia should feel happy that Jerick is being so honored that the region will have rain at last, she can't bring herself to smile or cheer. Arydra is so very upset over all of this. It's clear that she and Jerick were friends, so much so that she even wanted to take his place. I cannot rejoice in the death that my beloved mourns. Oh. As the priest continued to speak, Jerick begins to cry quite audibly. One of the other priests gives him a stern look, but Jerick cannot hold back his tears. After he has calmed somewhat, he drinks from a small vial, the tainted tears of the goddess. Legend has it that in this way the sacrifice takes in the poison from the earth and purifies it. The goddess, who is overcome with gratitude and selflessness of those who would sacrifice their life for her, weeps sacred tears, which legend says that shall fall from the heavens after the ritual is properly completed. Jerick's tears and his enduring fear are far from quite the resignation that a sacrifice should have. That much is clear to Neqtia. Jerick. Arydra growls her friend's name. Neqtia turns her head slightly to look at her, and she sees that Arydra is biting her lip in utter fury. Fury or sorrow? Or both? Why can't she understand what an honor it is to be sacrificed to the great goddess? No, I'm sure that Arydra will come to understand once her friend fades. Oh, sorry. Well, once her anger fades. I must be patient. Time passes. Neqtia and Arydra are eventually married. Oh. Neqtia, let me help you choose your clothes. Arydra returned her kind self sooner than Neqtia expected. I knew that she would understand eventually. I'm so glad that she's been able to find peace. Of course, I always welcome your fashion advice, my love. This is weird. I'm so sorry. You've become so obedient in the last several weeks. It is as if I'm the husband and you're the wife. Certainly, you're the strong-willed woman between us. I always aspire to be more like you. You always know just what to say. You're so sweet. Arydra lightly kisses Neqtia's cheek. Your spirits are much improved. You're no longer upset over that day? I can hardly remember it at all. Arydra's expression is impossible to read, but Neqtia decides that her beloved would never tell her a lie, so she smiles easily. I'm so happy for you. You're so kind, Neqtia. Really? However, if there's anything I can do for you, please tell me. I so want for you to be happy. I'm very happy here with you. Truly? Truly, I love you after all. Neqtia flashes with a pleasure. And I you. The two of them embrace. Neqtia hopes that the easy, peaceful days like this will last forever. Love like class ending. Please refer to the ending list in the extras section to see which endings you've unlocked. Oh, so that was one of the endings? Ending list. Oh, there's like 5 endings. Okay. Oh, this is okay. So I'm guessing one of the other endings is ending up with Jerick or whatever his name is. Another ending would be to kill them both, maybe both the slaves. Another ending should be probably saving both of the slaves, and maybe there's even a sacrificing herself ending. The girl sacrificing herself. I don't know. Anyway, that was Taarradhin by Cyanide Tea. It's the team that created the game. Very, very nice game. I really enjoyed it. Very nice story. It was kind of like a fan fiction. I really enjoyed it. I was kind of annoyed by the fact that the noble girl, the girl that I was playing as, was so ignorant of what was going on around her, and I feel like that's so true these days as well. Like the rich think that everything's perfect while everyone else is kind of dying in a way. Anyway, very, very good game. I really enjoyed it, and I hope you did too. So, if you did enjoy, leave a thumbs up. If you'd like to play the game for yourself, there's going to be a link in the description. As always, you can go ahead and check out all the other endings. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, as I said, leave a thumbs up. Check out the channel if you like the content uploaded to the channel. Maybe hit the subscribe button as well. As always, I will see you all later. Take care and stay crazy. Bye!